Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Just Add Ginger and thank you so much for clicking on this video. It feels like I've been gone forever, and I probably have. I can't actually remember the last time I sat down and filmed a video like this, but I am back today because I realised that I haven't formally introduced the newest member of the Just Add Ginger family. If you've been following my channel for the last few weeks / months, you will have seen this little fellow. He's been helping me out with some videos, but I thought today I would introduce him properly. So this is Baby Ginger, or if we're going to use your proper name, Eric, aren't you? Yes, this is baby Eric. He was born on the 2nd of April of this year. He was a week late. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. He was born at the Liverpool Women's Hospital at 10:44 in the morning, and he is currently coming up to 4 months old. This video is a little late. You're going to be a distraction the whole way through, aren't you? This video is a little late coming, but as I'm sure you can appreciate, having a newborn isn't always the easiest or most predictable of things. Hopefully you'll be able to get through this in one piece without somebody having a meltdown or a massive punani. What do you think? Initially I wanted to breastfeed, but Eric was born with a lot of phlegm and a tongue tie, which made it incredibly difficult to get any kind of food in him. So he is being bottle fed now. He's had his tongue tie sorted, so he's doing great. At last weigh-in he was 13 pounds 3, which puts him just at the 50th percentile, which is fantastic.
Yeah, sleeps.
Yes, he does sleep, thankfully. Sometimes. Not as much as he used to when he was a newborn. He's very, very alert. He wants to be up all the time and looking at everything and just being nosy. He does sleep pretty much all the way through the night.
Yeah, we put him to bed for about between 10 and 11, and he'll sleep through to, if it's in the earlier side, he'll sleep through to about 4:30, 5, take a feed and then go back down to about 8 or 9. 8 or 9, so that's not bad. That's quite good going.
On a bad night though, it will be in between 2:30 and 4.
Yeah.
But we can't really complain.
Good nights though, it can be 6 o'clock in the morning,
yeah,
and then back down till 10 or something like that if we're lucky.
Yeah, I remember the first night he slept through until, what was it, 5 or something in the morning, and we both woke up and didn't realise the time, looked at the clock. I looked at each other and we're like, oh, it's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, can't believe it.
Oh my god. You're not really that much hard work in the night. Sometimes he fights his sleep a lot, particularly when he goes down properly at bedtime. And when he wakes up in the morning, I'm the one who does the nights / early mornings because Ryan's in work, but sometimes he'll fight his sleep again and I'm up just waiting for him to go to sleep for an hour and a half, 2 hours, but that's pretty rare. He usually settles himself really well, which is great. In terms of milestones, he's smiling a lot, cooing a lot. He smelled first at 5 weeks, so quite early, and I managed to get it on camera, which was amazing. He's morning. He's rolled over front to back a few times, but I think that's pretty much fluke because he hasn't done it a lot since, and he really isn't a massive fan of tummy time on the mat, so he's not really had the opportunity to do that again. He's working on at the moment, rolling
back to front.
He's arching his back a lot, not with wind, but just looking on the mat. So I don't think it's going to be too long before you do that, is it? No. Started going to baby sensory classes, haven't we? For a really long time I didn't have a car. Very long story, very stressful story, but I've got a car now, so we're going and doing more, try to get out every day. Baby sensory started last week and that's on a Tuesday. If we're not going to a class, I usually take him out on a walk, and now I've got the car, I'll take him, or will be taking him, just to local cafes or places where I know where there are good changing facilities. He's a really easy baby.
He is, he's fantastic.
I mean, I don't want to say it too much because I mean, I know how incredibly lucky we are that he's an easy baby, but he's really chilled out, which is great for me, because if you've been catching up with my one-handed ways videos, I've had to kind of teach myself new ways to do things, which is quite frustrating at times. So to have a guinea pig who is so chilled out is really good. You're getting really upset, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is Daddy going to take you away and play with you, hey? Yeah? Is that he hates sitting in one place for too long. He needs like constant stimulation. Which at the moment for me is a bit frustrating because I can't hold him up all the time, or in a way that he wants to be held. So once he can sit up properly by himself, which hopefully won't be too long because his neck muscles are really strong, then it's going to be a lot better. But he likes to constantly be on the move and have his view changed. We've just switched the buggy over to a buggy from the carry cot, which will hopefully help, but he's just too nosy. He wants to look at everything, he wants to see everything, he wants to experience everything, and I can't always give him that point of view, so we're just working on
He's just, I think he's just at a funny point where he can't sit up on his own, but he wants to, so it's just a level of frustration that comes through. And I mean, without one-handed weight, it's hard to have to hold a baby upright all the time, because you can't put him in a... We haven't got a high chair as yet, but we couldn't really put him in a seat without in the neck support, because he's got really strong like neck and shoulders, and he does hold his head up quite well, but when he's tired it starts to loll a touch. So we're nearly at the point where we could put him in, I forget what that seat's called,
a bumbo seat,
a bumbo type seat, but I'm of the opinion we should just try, and then if he isn't, then we just don't put him in it until he is.
In terms of who he looks like, I don't think he looks like me at all. I think we have like the tiniest bit of like nose that's the same, like I've got quite a pronounced whatever this bit's called, and he did have it when he was first born, but he's growing into his face. It probably sounds really bad.
Hair in his mouth then, sorry.
He's growing into his face, so I think that's kind of disappearing, but loads of people have said he looks the spitting image of Ryan.
Do you think you look like me?
Definitely got the same eyelashes and the same ears. Eye colour's kind of the same, because your eyes are really
brown,
dark, yeah. Whereas mine are more of like a greenish hazel. So we'll have to see. We're not sure about hair colour. Sometimes he looks really blonde.
Sometimes he looks ginger, sometimes he looks like he's got black hair.
Yeah.
Can't tell, depends on the
but
light.
This bit at the top is really long because that's not actually fallen out. That's the hair he had when he was born. So it's just carried on
growing.
He's quite a solid baby, so he's not actually in any 0 to 3 month clothing anymore. He's in 3 to 6. So yeah, he's growing us out of house and home, and we keep having to redo his wardrobe to accommodate what he can wear. I'm sorry this is so like
typical day.
Choppy. Typical day. If it's me on my own, a typical day would be first waking up at in between 2:30 and 4:30 to give him his first breakfast. A bit like a hobbit, aren't you? First breakfast and second breakfast. So in between,
hairy feet like a hobbit.
Doesn't really. In between 2:30 and 4 to give him his first breakfast, and then hopefully he goes down by 6 o'clock, so I can get a bit more sleep. And then he'll wake up again in between 8 and 9, and I'll give him another feed. I always tend to change his nappy when I feed him, just so that there's a constant like dryness of nappy situation, so that's not a reason why he might be unhappy. Take him into his room, and I'll get him dressed, and I'll get him changed. We've actually set up his room more now, so we're going to start using it more, so he knows it's his space, if that makes sense. So I'll take him into there and I'll get him dressed and I'll change his nappy before I take him down for his second breakfast. And then after second breakfast we'll have a play, and then hopefully he will go down in his crib. We've got a crib downstairs and next to me in our room, and then his proper cot in his room. So I'll put him in the crib downstairs. Pray that he'll entertain himself long enough for me to either wash bottles from the night or put bottles on to sterilise, or empty the steriliser, or empty the dishwasher, or put on the washing, or empty the washing machine. Anything I need to do kind of in the kitchen in terms of housework. If it's a really good day, then I'll be able to have a super quick shower, because sometimes he'll fall asleep after his second breakfast. So I'll jump in the shower literally for about 10 minutes tops. Sometimes I can't even get dressed after the shower, so I have to just put my dressing gown back on. Sometimes he does let me get changed, so I'll do that.
Baby.
So I'll get changed and then go back downstairs, and he'll either still be asleep or he'll have another bit of a play. He's getting, related to like not being able to sit up on his own, he's getting a little bit bored of his toys, in the fact that he doesn't want to sit still for a long amount of time, so I have to keep switching things up. Sometimes we'll have stories because he's quite receptive to being read to, or he'll go on his play gym, or I'll sing to him, or it just depends really. He's got one newborn friendly soft toy that he really likes to chew at the moment, who we've just called Mr. Fox because he's a fox, so sometimes he'll have cuddles with him. It just depends really, there's no set schedule yet. I always thought that when he got to this age there would be some kind of routine. There isn't any kind of routine really.
There's a soft routine in that he's regular in terms of feeds. It's every like 4 to 5 hours.
Most days.
Yeah.
Some days he's like the hungry caterpillar and no amount of food is
well, I
enough.
think they go through growth spurts, don't they? So
Yeah.
it might be part of that. But he has a bedtime now, and he's really good with that.
Yeah, he does have a bedtime. I mean, what I do in the day tends to vary. We've had visitors, so that alters things, or we've just started the class. So in the afternoon, that's when he tends to be the most settled, so I'll take him on a walk, or we'll go to a class, or I'm going to start taking him out in the car more, so that I get that confidence up. Yeah. We'll go to Tesco's to get things, just just to keep him stimulated as much as possible. And then when Ryan gets home, that's the crossover time, so I'll give Eric or baby Ginger to Ryan, and then if I need to wash my hair, or I want a bath or a shower, then that's my time in the evening after Ryan's cooked and everything. Eric will have his first dinner, I suppose, and then he'll go down to sleep in between 7 and 9.
And he gets a bit like this when he's just a bit unsettled, and sometimes he can be a pain getting him down because he's tired and he needs to sleep, but he fights it and fights it. So what we end up doing is, what I end up doing, I'll swaddle him and just hold him in my arms for a bit, and that usually will settle him. But Jackie's slightly better than me. She'll put him down in a cot and make him settle and self-soothe on his own, which is really good. It's what we should be doing. But sometimes it's just a bit of a cuddle, and then he'll drift off. A bit of a cuddle and put the dummy in, and that's it. And then we're good till well, even then he doesn't really wake up till we wake him up at between 11:15 and 11:30, and I'll change him and then feed him and put him down.
Yeah, Ryan tends to do the last feed because Ryan's really good at getting the food in to baby Ginger. With me, I tend to take my time and give him lots of breaks and make sure I wind him properly. But Ryan's really good at just like making him get the food. Yeah.
I'll make sure that he gets it in him. Like I won't take any messing off him and then at the weekend it's a slight change where I'll do the nights and the mornings, and then depending what we're doing in the day, like we'll switch it up between each other. Like yesterday, you had a bit of a girly day with your friend and went and
had a massage.
Yeah, and all that. So I had most of the day, and then I took them off to my parents for like an hour or two while I did some things around the house as well, like just to help out.
Yeah, at the weekends like that, I tend to power through during the week, and then it gets to Friday night and the tiredness hits me and I'm just knackered, so I'll revert to granny mode and fall asleep on the sofa a lot more, or just be really tired when it gets to the evenings.
But we still we do things at the weekend which are nice, and as a family it's not like we get to the weekend and we're like recovering from like being in the Crimea or something like that. It is hard when tell anyone it's not, but it's 100% worth it. And initially it's very hard, but then you just get used to it, and then it's just your new routine. You're like, it's less sleep, but it's it's more than enough to cope on. And when he's good and we get the time back, we tend to cope like. But it's I mean, what's important is to make sure that, like, if any of your viewers have, like, in the process about to have a baby or have just had one, is that you make a bit of time for yourself at some point as well. Otherwise, the two of you can just become completely, like, run ragged and, like, drawn out, because everything revolves around a baby, which is important. But at the same time, no, if the parents don't look after themselves, you can't look after him or her if you're having a baby girl.
Yeah.
So I think that's something we've found a bit more balance with lately, and we're doing better on. But like the first 2 months, and I think it's the same for everyone, there's no balance because you've never done it before, and all you can do is just like roll with the punches and cope with it.
Yeah, it's important as well, because otherwise you end up resenting each other. Like, I went through a stage. I mean, I haven't really spoken about this a lot, but I have struggled more in the last few weeks with suffering from anxiety, which is something that nobody should be ashamed of. I've not got postnatal depression, but I've been so stressed out with other things that have been going on that I've just been really anxious, and I've just been not myself, and I'm usually really positive, and I just found it really hard to be positive. So I went through this stage of, like, even Ryan mowing the lawn, I'd be really resentful because that was some time that he had to do something that wasn't just being a parent, and we were both there, and that's not the way it should be, because it's fantastic being a parent, but it was just, I was jealous of him having that time, whereas in the day anyway, like, I don't have time. The time that Eric's asleep is the time where I'm doing the house stuff or concentrating on him. But getting that balance back, like yesterday was the first time in ages where I felt like I was me again and not just me as a mum. So that was really, really nice. I was watching somebody's videos, and they were saying, like, they're a new parent, and they didn't get the right feedback of saying that being a parent is hard. Like, I think their viewers wanted this person to say that parenting is brilliant, and you love it all the time, and it's always this certain way, and where it's amazing and life-changing and exciting, it is really difficult. Like, your whole life isn't your life anymore. It belongs to somebody else, and to get used to that's really tough. It does get better. You just gotta, for us, we help each other a lot, we support each other emotionally a lot, and just talking about how we feel, and talking to other people, and just getting our own, like, space and everything has really helped, especially in the last few weeks. But yeah, I don't think anybody should be ashamed to say that parenting is great, but it's also really hard. I think that's really... I think
it's you have a lot of unrealistic depictions which are either painted as being a living hell or painted as being fun and everything's fantastic. But really, it's like anything in life, it's a mix of everything, and the highs always overtake the lows, in terms of, like, the first time he smiles fantastic, or just having him watch, like, his eyes following you around the room, or knowing that when you come home, well, for me, when I come home from work and I get to hold him and he starts smiling as soon as he sees me, It's amazing, like. But it just is. It is a very demanding thing. You are very demanding, you know that. But he isn't. He's a really good baby. He's a fantastic baby, and he's dead chill. But yeah, it's just that's real life. You know, sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes not. But I think the key is, if you burn the candle at both ends, you'll burn out, and you need to, like, however little it is, need to make time for yourself at some point. At least, you know, a few times a week, whether it's having a bath or, you know, having a shower or watching something, or you know, and that's where, like, your support networks come in, and, you know, phenomenally, like, yeah. And it makes a massive difference. Without that, it would be really impossible. I'm really impressed by anyone who can do it, like, who has a baby and brings a child up without that social network, without that sort of greater support rig from family and friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I can't even begin to imagine how single parents do it, and, like, you know, still manage to earn money and feed themselves and everything else. It's just
incredible.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Like,
I suppose, like, after rambling, this video hasn't really had any structure because I don't really know what to update you on, because it's been 3 months, nearly 4, and I've been a bit quiet on YouTube in terms of sitting down and talking to the camera, so I guess I'm a bit out of practice. But if there's anything that you want to know, or, you know, think I should talk about, or want me to talk about, then please do let me know in the comments. I spend quite a lot of time watching kind of like mummy videos now, or parenting videos from people on my subscription list on YouTube, so just having a bit of direction in terms of what you want to see would be good, or maybe you don't want to see anything and you just want me to shut up and talk about something completely different. But I didn't want to go without formally introducing baby Ginger. The One-Handed Way series will carry on. I'm finding it incredibly difficult to find lots of tutorials out there that help me, which is why I'm making them not just for me, for other people as well. So they'll continue. I'm enjoying being a mum. I think the best part is watching him every day. Every day something happens and it'll be completely surprising, or it'll just be the most happy part of the day, just seeing him do something new, or explore something new, or discover, you know, anything. Like discovering his hands, that was a great thing to see, or, you know, smiling at a certain toy, just little things like that. But it can be really tough, and like the trickiest thing is decoding what he wants. I know that everybody says you get to know your baby's cries, and whereas that's true, sometimes you just can't figure out what is wrong, and it's frustrating for you because you don't understand, and it must be frustrating for him because he's trying to communicate with you and we just don't, or I just don't get it. And then it could be the most simple thing, like he wants a cuddle, or he wants to look at a tree, like a different tree, or, you know, he'll have a wet nappy and you don't know, and then it clicks and you're like, oh, for goodness sake, why didn't I think of that before? But it's just brilliant. Oh, I had one question. I reached out on social media today for anybody to ask any questions, and this question is from Sarah.
Oh, okay, go on.
And the question is, has he pooed today?
No, he hasn't.
That
this
is
is
like
day 2 of no poo.
Yeah, we're waiting for the explosion.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive one.
But that is basically like most topics of conversation. When we start having a conversation, will be, has he pooed today?
Yeah, when I come home with, has he pooed today? And it's like, really, it's dad code for, am I going to have to change a pooey nappy?
And it's usually me who gets the like massive ones if it's been a few days.
Can't be helped.
So,
I don't dictate when he poos, unfortunately.
That was the only question, but if there are any more, please leave them in the comments below. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'm sorry if it was really rambly. Like I said, I'm out of practice and it's been a long time. I just need to get back into it again. But we've got a whole new setup now. We're in the new house, so
yeah,
everything's good to go. So hopefully there'll be more coming soon. If you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. I'm really trying to get to 500 subscribers. I'm nearly there. I think I'm on 460 something, so 40 something to go before I get to 500. That would be amazing. Leave me a comment, any questions, any video ideas, any parenting tips or new mum tips or new parent advice, things like that. And I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Oh, and thumbs up if you like this video
yeah.
too. That's also really important.
Thumbs up.
Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye everybody. See you next time.